Hello student, today I am going to explain chapter chapter 4 part 4, that is Bipin's lapse of memory. So coming to the part 4, getting off the train at Ranchi next morning, he realized at once that he had never been there before. He came out of the station, took a taxi and drove around the town for a while. He realized that the streets, the buildings, the hotels, the bazaars, the Morabadi Hill, with none of this had he the slightest acquaintance. Would a trip to the Hundru Falls help? He didn't believe so. But at the same time, he didn't wish to leave with the feeling that he hadn't tried enough. So he arranged for a car and left for Hundru in the afternoon. So student, as Bipin he reached Ranchi the next morning, and as soon as he deboarded the train, he was sure that he had never visited that particular place before. He took a taxi as he came out of the railway station and roamed around in the town for a while. He had never seen those buildings, hotels, markets, or Morabadi Hill even before. He was not sure if a trip to the Hundru Falls would make any difference, but he just did not want to leave with a feeling of not having tried enough. Thus, he arranged for a taxi to Hundru and he left in the afternoon. Now, coming to the next paragraph, at 5 o'clock the same afternoon in Hundru, two Gujarati gentlemen from a group of picnickers discovered Bipin Babu lying unconscious beside a boulder. When he came round, the first thing Bipin Babu said was, "I am finished. There's no hope left." So, student, it was around 5 o'clock the same afternoon when the two Gujarati men who had come with a group of picnickers from Bipin Babu lying unconscious beside a large rock. When he regained his consciousness, his first words were, "I am finished. There's no hope left." Now, coming to the third paragraph, the next morning, Bipin Babu was back in Calcutta. He realized that there was truly no hope for him. Soon, he would lose everything: his will to work, his confidence, his ability, his balance of mind. Was he going to end up in asylum at? Bipin Babu couldn't think anymore. So, Bipin Babu, he had realized that there was no hope left for a situation like his. So, he came back to Calcutta the next morning. He began to worry about how he might lose everything: his interest in work, confidence, abilities, and peace of mind. He even wondered that he could end up in an asylum if the situation worsened. He had exhausted his ability to think anymore by that time. Now see, back home, he rang up Dr. Chanda and asked him to come over. Then, after a shower, he got into bed with an ice bag clamped on his head. Just then, the servant brought him a letter which someone had left in the letter box, a greenish envelope with his name in red ink on it, and above the name it said, "Urgent and confidential." In spite of his condition, Bipin Babu had a feeling that he ought to go through the letter. He tore open the envelope and took out the letter. So, student, as he was now at home, Bipin he tried to contact Dr. Chanda and requested him to visit him at his place. So Bipin he took a shower and got in bed with an ice bag on his head. It was only then that his servant brought him a letter that he had found in the letter box. The envelope was green in color with his name written on it in red ink. The envelope read "Urgent and Confidential" above his name. Regardless of how he felt at that time, Bipin Babu could anticipate that he should open and read this letter. Thus, he tore open the envelope and took out the letter. Now let's see what it is written in the letter. Dear Bipin, I had no idea that affluence would bring about the kind of change in you that it has done. Was it so difficult for you to help out an old friend down on his luck? I have no money, so my resources are limited. What I have is imagination, a part of which I used in retribution of your unfeeling behavior. Well, you will be all right again now. A novel I have written is being considered by a publisher. If he likes it enough, it will see me through the next few months. Yours, Chunilal. So, the letter it has begun with a salutation to Bipin, and the writer of the letter had further shown disappointment at how wealth had changed Bipin Babu. He says that it was unexpected. In the letter, Chunnilal also asked him if it had become so difficult for him to help his childhood friend. He further adds that he has scarcity of resources as he had no money and all he had was imagination, which he used to take revenge for Bipin Babu's behavior towards his misery. He reveals that Bipin would be fine now. He also tells him that a novel that Chunni Lal had written is being considered by a publisher. He will have enough money for the next few months if the publisher likes it and approves of it. Now, when Dr. Chanda came, Bipin Babu said, "Oh, I'm fine. It all came back as soon as I got off the train at Ranchi." "A unique case," said Dr. Chanda. "I shall certainly write about it in a medical journal." "The reason why I sent for you," said Bipin, "is that I have a pain in the hip from a fall I had in Ranchi. If you could prescribe a painkiller." So, when when he came to see him, Bipin Babu revealed that he has got his memory of the Ranchi trip from 58 back. It all kept running back as he got off the train. Dr. Chanda remarks it as a unique case and informs that he will add this in his medical journal. Bipin Babu tells the doctor that he called him to prescribe him a painkiller for the pain he has in his hip from the fall he had in Ranchi.